Nicky Waters here with The Cribs.
Hi. How's it going?
Who are?
Ross. I'm Ryan. Gary.
As you said, you guys come from that indie sleaze scene, but what you called...
Well, it's what the press used to call the New Rock Revolution, but now the internet calls it the indie sleaze movement. And to be honest, fair play to people for giving it a name, because it was like for a long time it needed one. You know, it's a combination of like electro clash. It started. It wasn't. It didn't have a scene at all. It was just like a few garage rock bands and a few electro clash bands, and that was it. And then for some reason that was seen as like a movement. The only thing it had in common was DIY, really.
So I just wanted to talk about the new record a little bit, Selling a Vibe. And I was wondering, what was the approach that you guys took to making this record that may have been different than any of the other ones?
It wasn't done fully live, which most of the records are recorded like fully live in a room. I mean, we did still record stuff live, but we worked with someone who was less of an old school producer, more of a modern. Like. Could
you remind me the name of the?
He's called Patrick Wimbley. He worked with Beyonce and like, he worked with MGMT and Lil Yachty. There was a kind of a different world from us, but like as far as our writing went, it was no different. Like, we still just try and write like, the sort of pop music that we want to hear, really. That's about it. We just want to record it differently, that's all, because if like every time we go in the studio we generally work with like someone who's like a producer that we grew up loving, whether it's Steve Albini or Ric Ocasek or whoever. And that approach it's like the old school way of doing stuff, you know what I mean? And it sounds great, it always sounds good, but if we do that, we'll revert to type, so we want to try something different.
Yeah, trying something new, just keeping it fresh. And then how about for you, Ross?
Just working with a different producer, and a bit, like as I said, he was younger and comes from a different angle to like what we're used to working with. So
and circling back to the album Summer Seizures, I was just wondering, what does that song mean to each of you, and do each of you have a certain thing that triggers a summer seizure?
Well, it was the first song we wrote for the record, so
really?
It felt loose to us, and I think that's kind of why we wanted it to be the first single.
Okay.
Like the first time we were going down that path.
I felt that it was very emotionally charged myself. It was It
is, but it's like a bit. I don't have anything that triggers a summer seizure. In fact, I just don't want anyone to have a seizure in summer.
Yes, of course.
That's kind of what it's about.
I wanted to talk about some of your collaborations. So you guys collaborated with Lee Ranaldo on Be Safe, Julian Casablancas on Exclamation Pony, and Johnny Marr on Ignore the Ignorant. And I was wondering, like, what are some of your favorite moments and like some memories that you have from working with any of them?
I guess just seeing the different way that people work. All those people have made. It's not like we've ever gone out there and intentionally wanted to. Like, I mean, obviously, when I was a kid, like the idea of working with Johnny or working with Lee would have been like,
it's like a shoot for the moon, right?
Yeah. But it's not like we ever went out there looking to do stuff like that. It's stuff that happened organically. It was people that we ended up like friends with, and you just naturally I guess if you like each other's music, you just naturally want to collaborate together. But seeing how different people are that work together, like Johnny is very meticulous, and free form, and just. Like for us, it's like we're brothers, so like we only ever had each other. So, the people that come in from the outside are the people that we like. Luckily for us, it's people that we've always really loved, and to be able to see how what we do works with like people from the Smiths or like Orange Juice or the Cars or Sonic Youth. Like Julian has like a really specific vision that which was kind of strange for me, because I'm always like, a lot more, generally free form.
Maybe like jam bass?
No, like,
off
the cuff, really.
Off the cuff.
But Julian has like a specific vision. It's like, it takes a moment to get onto his page, but when you do, it's really, like, there's something really fulfilling about, like, you end up on the same wavelength, and I think you end up hitting like higher targets as a result of the hard work. So they're all very different to work with, and at the same time they're all fucking great at their jobs, man. You know what I mean? I've enjoyed every single collaboration we've done, even though at times it's been hard work or frustrating or whatever. It's always been satisfying.
And I'm assuming some of their approaches have bled into the way that you guys make music a little bit, or no? Not really.
Not really.
No.
I mean, I guess like little bits and pieces, but with us it's more dyed in the wool what we do. Like we've always had a way of doing stuff. Like we came from like a punk scene in a very underground punk scene in Wakefield, and it's like it's in our bones. And it's dyed in the wool with us, and as much as I can enjoy living in those people's world and getting involved with it, it's like you may have little bits of influence. It doesn't change your DNA, man. You know what I mean? It's like it doesn't change your DNA.
Like it's just another experience to bring forward with you.
No, but that's why they want to work with us.
Yeah.
Because of our DNA. You know what I mean? So it's like it'd be like totally counterintuitive if we just all of a sudden started being like, oh, we've got to do it the same way that like this guy does it. You know what I mean? It wouldn't make any sense at all, because then no one would want to.
You gotta have your individuality.
Why would anyone want to work with you at that point?
It's not a collaboration at that point.
I just wanted to ask about Be Safe and Pink Snow. How did you guys approach each of those tracks? They are tracks that I just feel have all these emotional climaxes, beautiful lyric writing.
I'll tell you about Be Safe. Be Safe was just improvised. Like it was just improvised in the room, and then we didn't know what it was going to be, and we went into the studio with Lee, and we had like one day in the studio, and we improvised it, and then it was finished. Pink Snow.
One thing I'll say about Be Safe though is we wrote that when we were writing our first record, and it took until the third record for it to get recorded. Okay. So I don't know what that means, but it was around for a long time, and I guess we just maybe just didn't think that we were like ready to deal with it. Yeah. But then Pink Snow, kind of similar. I guess I wrote that lead off riff on the guitar, and I was like, oh man, I love this riff so much. I love it so much that I don't want to do anything with it.
The dissonance is just
exactly. No, but like when we wrote it, I was like that's the best guitar riff that I've written. I don't want to do anything with it until we're ready to do something with it. And that took again like
another few years. Okay.
And when we actually did get around to doing it, it was in 2014, and we were renting a studio all summer. We were in a boiling hot studio, and we worked on that song for like weeks on end. I mean weeks on end, which is why it ended up so kind of like long and sprawling. We just like bolted loads of bits together and stuff. But
so would it be safe to say that song or like that riff had came around the New Fellas era?
It came during Brace and Bull, but it didn't get done until the end of the next record. So it was around for a few years, but that was one of those songs that it was like it was like fundamental to the writing of the record that it was on. It was like it was in the background the entire time. We kept thinking, we've got to finish it for this record. We've got to finish it for this record. We were in the UK for like 3 months. It was boiling hot. We were doing festivals, and it just kind of gone a bit nuts.
Yeah.
And so that's why it ended up like so sprawling, because it was like, I can't do without this bit, I can't do without that bit, can't do without the other, and it just ended up like a lot longer than what it was supposed to. But
to finish it up, I just wanted to ask, so for each of you, what's your favorite album that you wrote, favorite song that you wrote, and also a song that you want on the set list that isn't currently there?
Look, I like the new record. I always do. From the catalogue, I always really like Brazen Bull. And like as far as like songs that I would like on the set that isn't on, I think I've tried everything's our best song personally. That's what I would say. It comes in and out on the set list, but that personally is my favourite song.
Okay.
I just like the first record because it's from before we had a record deal. So everything before a record deal means a lot more
personal?
to me.
Well, yeah.
No, it just means more to me because it wasn't being done. It wasn't a job at that point.
Yeah, like you didn't have a schedule. It was just you making your art.
So anything from there.
A new album for me. Obviously, playing the new stuff's always the most fun because it's like the most recent. Song-wise, probably there's a song on for all my sisters called Pacific Time that we never usually play, and then also on the last record there's one of the songs on Night Network was called Never Thought I'd Feel Again, so I'd probably put that on as well. So
yeah, I'd like to put Vibe back on the set list too, but like, and from the new record, probably Self-Respect. But we should get that on there at some point.
Okay, no, I would love to hear all of the songs on the set list in the future. And amazing.
All right, we've got to split.
Thank you. Yes, appreciate it so much. Yeah. See you next. All right, and that was the Cribs at Lee's Palace. I'm Nicky Waters signing off, and thanks for listening.